Of course, I know many of you are asking, why are you including a person that only has one all-star to their name to the list of the elite, especially when they're 30 years old? You know how I feel about that. Yes, 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 I got it. But this guy just happened to be the best hitter on the team that won the World Series last year, and to add insult to injury, he was the third play. He was third in the MVP race by the end of the year, leading the league in doubles and RBIs along the way. And at the end of the day, he seized the championship and he snuck that as the best player. How you guys doing? It is July 16, 2020 out here in this quarantine. I'm James Simpson. For this episode of The Elite, I was going to do a profile on Anthony Rendon, the current third baseman of the Los Angeles Angels, who was yet another player to take a big contract, $300 million. Take that opportunity, go fly out to LA and just spend the rest of your life and retire out there, especially with a good organization and a comfortable place like Anaheim. So just to give you a little bit of background on Anthony Rendon, let you know who he is. I have a personal beef with him because he's played for the Nationals for the past couple of years, and he's been the best. He's been the best hitter on the Nationals the past couple of years. He's been very annoying as a Braves fan to watch, but I do respect him as a player. He's 33 years old, coming straight out of Houston, Texas. He ended up actually going to Rice. He played really well at Rice to the point where he was selected 6th overall in the 2011 MLB draft to the Washington Nationals. He was eventually called up in 2013 to the main team when he was 23 years old. That first season, he would go on to finish with 93 hits in 98 games. Nothing incredibly popping off the screen. His second season in Washington, he played 153 games. He had 176 hits, went on to lead the league in runs that year with 111. Finished with 21 home runs, 83 RBIs, 287 batting average, the likes. This was his second season in the league at age 24. He finished 5th in the MVP voting, and he was a Silver Slugger. For the next 2 years in the Nationals that year, where they lost in the NLDS to the Giants. The next couple of years, as Bryce Harper won the MVP and Max Scherzer won the Cy Young. I mean, he was there. He was most definitely producing it in those years. He had, the first season, or in his age 25 season, the next season he only played 80 games. He was dealing with injury. The next game he would play the full season. He finished with 20 home runs, 85 RBIs, but he still wasn't named as an all-star. In 2017, when the Nats lost to the Cubs, Anthony Rendon just put up played up 147 games that year, had 153 hits, finished with 100 RBIs for the first time in his career with a 301 batting average. He finished 6th in the MVP race, but he was still not an all-star yet. In his age 28 season, even though the Nationals didn't make the playoffs, Anthony Rendon stepped up, made a name for himself. In the 136 games he played in Bryce Harper's last season, he finished with the league lead in doubles with 44. He finished with 24 home runs, 92 RBIs, 308 batting average. He finished 11th in MVP voting, but at the end of his age 28 season, he still had never been an all-star at that point. And then finally comes his age 2019 season. And during the season, he starts off well. Everything starts off right. He plays 146 games on the season. He finishes with, of course, 174 hits in those 146 games, significantly more hits than games. He finished with 117 runs on the season, which is an absurd amount of runs in 146 games. He led the league in doubles for the second year in a row with 44. The third year in a row, he had eclipsed the 40 number in doubles. He finished with 34 home runs. He led the National League in RBIs with 126 of them. He finished with a 319 batting average, 412 OBP, 598 slugging. This was his past year. He was named an All-Star for the first time in his career with those numbers. He was named the Silver Slugger for the second time, and he was 3rd in the MVP voting as the Nationals would go on to barely sneak their way into the wild card, where they beat the Brewers in the NL wild card game. They went on to beat the Dodgers 3-2. When the Dodgers had 100 wins, they ended up sweeping the Cardinals in the NLCS, and they ended up beating the former World Series champion Houston Astros in 7 games, where Steven Strasburg was the World Series MVP. And of course, Anthony Rendon was a big part of them getting there with big hits along the stretch. And within that last year, he had proven himself worthy of a contract from the Angels that would be worth over $300 million. Now he's out there chilling in LA with Albert Pujols, Tommy La Stella, and Andrelton Simmons in his infield. He still gets to team up with players like Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. I'm curious to see what the Angels can bring in a short season like this. I wouldn't be surprised if they made some sort of run at it, especially considering they're not playing a full season and they don't have to worry about fatigue. Let's see what happens when Anthony Rendon and Mike Trout all come together. I'm really curious to see what happens. But one thing I do know for sure is that Anthony Rendon, he's gonna come back to baseball this year, and he's gonna be elite now. I say for July 17th, now it's as it just switched to midnight. As of July 17th, 2020, Anthony Rendon is an elite third baseman. And he should be respected as such. He's a very, very good player, and I imagine the Angels organization is very happy and very proud to have him. That's all I have to say. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to listen to this 6.5 minute piece on Anthony Rendon. I really believe in him. I like him as a player, and if you get a chance to watch him, I imagine he's probably wearing number 6 for the Los Angeles Angels. And just when you watch him play, if you were to watch him for a series, I don't think you could. I think you'd still underestimate the amount of hits you get in that series. With that, I gotta say it. I wish everyone the best, and peace out.